Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mark from the States. How are we doing today? I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. Thank you so much for coming. I've got this big fake couch right here. I would love for all of you to come and hang out with me today. Today we're going to watch, it's from History Squad, Legacy of the Unknown Warrior. I'm so blessed for Kevin over there to allow us to watch and learn from his stuff. So we've done I think the history of the Unknown Warrior or something like that. It's on the channel, I believe, so you can go back and watch that. It's been a few years. So this is a video by History Squad. So I'm looking forward to kind of reacquainting myself with the story, and maybe there's some things that I didn't know or don't remember. A lot of you, not a lot, but a few of you, added some context in the comment section just recently about things that from that previous video that we'd done on the Unknown Warrior that wasn't included, and you added some more information. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Thank you so much. And I'm telling you, I learned what I learned from the video, but I learned a ton from all of you afterwards in the comments or in emails and whatnot. So just, yeah, really cool. Before we start, just kind of got a couple things. I'm still working on getting a conversation with the history chap. So if you have questions that you want to ask them, there is a post up on the channel. So just go ahead and add it to that, or send it to me in an email. Make sure to make a note that this is a question for him. So if it does happen, I'll be able to get your question to him. The issue is the time difference, and the man is super busy. So so we're just, hopefully it'll happen. Just a reminder, a live stream this Sunday from Fort Collins, Colorado. I have no idea what this is going to entail when we get there. I'm going to show up. We're going to just hopefully find a spot we can walk around. It's gonna be freezing when we land. It's gonna be, I think they said it's like 38 degrees. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but not very warm. Let's see, what's 38 degrees here? 38 degrees in Celsius. It says 3.3. 33333. So that's cold. Yeah? That's cold. So, yeah. It's going to be cold. Do I want to be outside walking around? I don't know. It's going to be great. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be bundling up. It's okay. I want to do the live stream from there. I want to walk around. I want to show you guys what I'm seeing for the first time as well. I've never been there myself, so it's just, I'm going to be bundled up. So it's going to be awesome. And then lastly, the Festival of Remembrance. I'm going to start that. Hopefully I'm going to break it up into like 3 parts, I think. And hopefully I'll have the first installment before I leave. I leave Friday morning. So hopefully maybe in a couple days I can get one, or maybe if I have time, maybe I can have them scheduled to go through while I'm gone. But I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get in the whole thing. I think it was like almost like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. Is how long that is. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump out. Boom, I should be in the box. Yes. I'm going to learn a little bit more about the Unknown Warrior, and we really enjoy Kevin, right? So please, there are 2 links below, one to this video and one to his channel, so I encourage you to use them. to go to his channel and support him. Don't leave anything on our channel. Of course, a comment's fine and all that stuff, but if you want to support the original content creator, it's really important that you do so. So please use the links, get over there and support him. I'm just blessed that all of you have come to watch, so that is good. But get over there and support Kevin. It is important. Okay, let's do this.
If you go to the main entrance of Westminster Abbey in London, just inside the door there, you'll find a lone grave. This is, of course, the grave of the unknown British warrior from the First World War. It's a symbol. It represents all of those who fell during the Great War. During the First World War, 880,000 British and Dominion troops were killed. Over half of them have no known grave, their bodies lost or simply unidentifiable. Can you imagine the impact on their families back home? Not only have they lost a loved one, they have no grave to visit, no place to grieve. The idea for the unknown warrior was conceived by the Reverend David Railton way back in 1916 when he was serving in the British Army as a padre. He was in a rest area near Armentières in France, and at the back of the building where he was staying, there was the grave of an unknown British warrior, member of the Black Watch. Reverend Railton had served in the Territorial Army before the war in a Highland regiment, so this really got to him. And he thought, wouldn't it be a great idea if after the war we took one of our unknown warriors home and buried him back in Britain? He wrote to the High Command, but he never got a reply. But after the war, this was still bugging him, knowing how many men were out there unknown. And his wife suggested, well, why don't you write to the Dean of Westminster Abbey in London, the Right Reverend Herbert Ryle? And he actually thought the idea was great, and he picked up the torch, and it was he who built up the momentum, writing to all of the well-known people, the important people in the land. So, on the 7th of November 1920, 4 separate burial parties were sent out into the main battlefields of the Western Front: Ypres, the Aisne, Arras, and of course the Somme. And each one exhumes a body, has to be well salted down so that it cannot be recognised only as an unknown British soldier. They're transported by motor ambulance to General Headquarters at St. Paul. The burial parties were then dismissed and the bodies were placed on stretchers inside a makeshift chapel, and each body was covered with a Union flag. 2 officers then, Brigadier General Wyatt and Colonel Gell, were taken into the room, and they quickly but randomly and reverently chose one of the bodies. The 3 that were not chosen were taken outside and reburied, but the unknown soldier that had been chosen was placed inside a temporary coffin. We call him Unknown Warrior, a temporary coffin.
Just the idea of going in there and choosing, I mean, I don't know if they understood how the importance of it all at the moment. Maybe they did. But these 2 gentlemen are choosing one of these 4 unknowns to represent millions. And that number will just keep growing. It just isn't, I mean, at the time they didn't know, but, it's not just representing the First World War. It represents all unknowns. And I wonder if they understood the gravity of, I know the moment in time was heavy as it was because the Great War was so terrible and there was just this mass carnage and all that stuff, but just the fact that they had no idea that this would symbolize something for generations, and just the gravity of that decision. You know, who, I'm starting to get a little, emotional just even thinking about it. The gravity of that decision is so heavy, at least to me. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I find it very interesting.
We call him Unknown Warrior. You see, he may have been an airman. He could have been a sailor fighting with the naval divisions on land. It's the unknown British warrior. At Boulogne, as the coffin of the unknown warrior was loaded onto HMS Verdun, Marshal Foch, leader of the French armed forces, saluted the coffin. On the journey across, HMS Verdun and escorts made their way back towards Dover. And as HMS Verdun emerges out of the mist of the channel, the fog, it's challenged. "Who are you?" And HMS Verdun replies, "HMS Verdun, escorts, and Britain's unknown son."
Yeah.
All the quaysides, the harbour, everywhere in Dover was packed full of people, silent, waiting to get a glimpse of the coffin. So the coffin was disembarked from HMS Verdun and placed in a passenger luggage goods van on a train. Now the railway workers painted the roof of this goods van white so people could recognise it on its journey through to London. At every station, military bands played sombre music. Guards of honour had been formed, and across every footbridge and along every platform and alongside the tracks where people could stand, the crowds had gathered. The back doors of houses that opened out onto the railway were open and lights shone across their gardens. People stood, silent, watching. When he arrives at Victoria, people are so eager to see the coffin, they even buy train tickets to try and get onto the platform, catch a glimpse.
Wow.
However, the carriage was taken to platform 8, which is the Buckingham Palace Road entrance to the Victoria Station, and there it will remain overnight under strict honour guard. It's the morning of the 11th of November 1920. The casket of the unknown warrior is transferred from the train and fastened to a gun carriage, which will be pulled by 6 black horses of the Royal Horse Artillery. The procession will make its way to the cenotaph, which is the new memorial for the nation's war dead in London. The King is stood to one side, waiting for the procession to arrive. At 11 o'clock on the 11th of November 1920, the bells of Big Ben sound, and on the 11th chime, the King presses a button and the Union flags, both of them, fall to the ground. Now the parade forms up. The King, in a Field Marshal's uniform, falls in behind the unknown warrior. Orders are barked and the parade makes its way to Westminster Abbey. Thousands of people, soldiers in uniform, veterans, medals gleaming, lined the route and watched as the unknown warrior trundled by on its...
That is incredible, this photo. I want to go back. This right here, with the flags, the very large flags draped over the cenotaph, and then being pulled down. It's amazing. And then the King falling behind the coffin. Very symbolic. Wow.
Field Marshal's uniform falls in behind the unknown warrior. Orders are barked and the parade makes its way to Westminster Abbey. Thousands of people, soldiers in uniform, veterans, medals gleaming, lined the route and watched as the unknown warrior trundled by on its way to Westminster Abbey, where, on arrival, he was carried feet first through the door where he will be laid to rest amongst our kings and queens. Once the funeral was over and all the dignitaries had gone home, a temporary cover was put on the grave so that people could come and view. A silent, sobbing queue wound around London. Black-clad mothers, orphans, widows carried lilies, the scent of which simply filled the air as they shuffled to view the grave of our unknown fallen son.
Wow.
People travelled from all over Britain and even farther afield to walk past the tomb of the unknown warrior. And in fact, a police officer who was on duty when the public were allowed in, he recalled how he'd met an elderly lady who'd travelled down from the north of Scotland. And I'll tell you, in those days, that was a heck of a journey. In her hands, she had a posy of wilted flowers. And the police officer spoke to her and she explained that these flowers were from her garden. Her son had been killed early on in the war, and the flowers were from his flower bed. She says he planted these flowers when he was but 6 years of age. The tomb of the unknown warrior is still there at the entrance to Westminster Abbey, and thousands upon thousands of people visit it every year. But it no longer just represents the dead of the Great War. Represents those who were killed in the Second World War, the Korean War, and all of the conflicts ever since. So do me a favour. If ever you visit London, pay him a visit. Have a moment of reflection, because now you know what it really stands for.
Absolutely. Like I said, that is at the top of my list. Thank you, Kevin. Please go and support Kevin. It's so important. History Squad is the channel. Let me jump out. Yay, here I am. It's just, yeah, it's emotional. Just the gravity of that decision. And you see all those people, I mean, all thinking, could this be our loved ones? It's just, and how another thing is crazy how, I don't know if this was something that was, maybe in the newspapers or something like that. It's just the word of mouth and the people lining the tracks and every overpass and so on and so forth. The word got around. I imagine there was a lot of publicity. Maybe, I don't know. I can imagine. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. But, so some of the things that, I find very fascinating is that, of course, right after we being here in the U.S., we did the unknown soldier. I think France has an unknown soldier. And don't they have all three? I think someone had mentioned that in my comments, that they all have all three of the, like, Medal of Honor, the VC, and whatever the French version is. And that's wild. I love how the three nations agreed to do that. I think it's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to go see. I mean, I want to see Westminster Abbey for sure, but that is probably the number one thing I want to see for sure. Okay, live stream Sunday. I'm going to start recording the festival. Hopefully I'll have the first episode out before I go. And hopefully I'll get to see you on Sunday. If not, that's okay. We'll have another one, as always. And I hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. Thanks so much for coming, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark. And